Hi, this is Lisa Kelly, Notre Dame author and class of 1993, and you are watching the Two Irish Brothers show. Cheers and go Irish.
Going deep for Smith, Irv Smith. What a run by Smith. Look at that, touchdown, oh my!
What's up, everyone? I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And together, this little ordeal is known as the Two Irish Brothers Show. You guys know the drill by now. Hit that subscribe tab in the bottom right-hand corner. Like or dislike the video to help with the algorithm. And of course, make sure you spread this to your friends. Look for us on social media. All that good stuff. You guys know the drill. There should be like like Martin Luther in the 95 Theses. We should have that printed right here on the screen, Ben. So, also, with the season opener being about 4 months away, make sure you guys check out Irv Smith's travel package that he's been working with Global Executive Tours to put together. Link is down in the description below. There should be some available spots still left. So, Ben, that day has come and gone. The blue and gold game was yesterday, and let me just say this. I'm not trying to be mean towards anybody here. You know that. Well, I have been mean to some people, but you get it when it comes to the team. But
I get the gist.
Okay. I think it's safe to say after yesterday, and granted, there's all the factors that come into play here. It's practice. It's a team game. You're playing against yourself. But I think it's safe to say that the quarterback job is Sam Hartman's to lose.
Oh, yes. It is Sam Hartman at the tippy top, and then everybody else fighting for that number 2 spot.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Because it's just, spring game or not, when you look at both Sam Hartman and Tyler Buchner, you could just tell that Sam looked a lot more comfortable than Tyler did. Tyler, he's still not very comfortable in the pocket. And after having been here for a couple years now, myself, that worries me.
Yeah. Yeah. Buckner looked very, very flat in this game. Yeah, for the dude that's the man that knows the most about the play schemes and the playbook that Notre Dame has, that is Buckner. He looks very, very flat. And if I can be so bold, I would say right now, in my opinion, the depth chart is Sam Hartman, Steve Angeli, Tyler Buchner as 1, 2, 3, and then you can fill in the rest.
Minchie.
Kenny Minchie and Dylan. I have such a hard time pronouncing his name.
The walk-on?
Devinson. So yeah, I think Angeli went 8 for 12 with 8 for 12 for 72 yards, and a long of 19. Hartman obviously went 13 of 16 for 189 yards and a long of 46. But then you look over at Buckner's numbers. 8 of 18 for 44 yards and a long of 15. So, I mean, Angeli looked way better than Buckner. And I think Buckner hits the transfer portal. I really do.
Of course.
I hate that. I don't want to see that happen. I honestly hate that for the dude. He has had a rough go from COVID, derailing his senior season, to a busted shoulder, to just not really getting going when he should be. He's had a rough hand dealt. So I wish him nothing but the best, but I just don't see him sticking around for much longer.
It's very possible that could be the case. I mean, now myself, I think that's too early to project, but I've said for a while now during past shows and even live streams that, with this quarterback room going to be loaded here. I mean, it's already loaded this year, but it's going to be more loaded next year once CJ Carr arrives on campus. My predicament was somebody's going. Somebody's going to go. It's going to be too packed of a quarterback room. So it's just a matter of when and who.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
And the thing is, like you said, it's not like neither myself or you are saying, oh, go on, get out of here, Buckner. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. We're not saying that.
No.
Like you, I feel bad for the kid because I don't think he's really had that chance to really settle in and be the guy. I mean, I guess technically you could say last year, but we couldn't really find that out because he got hurt 3/4 of the way through the second game of the season.
Right.
So he's never really had that chance to get 100% comfortable into the starting role.
Yeah.
But it's just, this is just the nature of the beast when it comes to college football. This is how stuff works. And, it's just like the movie Highlander. There can be only one.
Yeah.
And it just, and to be fair
and
on something.
Speaking of only one, how about Jaden Greathouse?
Yes. Oh, yes. That was going to be the next topic of discussion. Just one quick thing I wanted to add on Tyler Buckner, and this is something I've been seeing across comment sections galore, is the fact that he didn't get a chance to show much of his running ability, which is what he's known for. And I agree with that, but it's at the same time, yeah, you can't. That doesn't really change much. I'm sorry,
well,
but
and
really
any
doesn't.
team, any good team, okay, and let's face it, the good teams this year for us on our schedule is Ohio State, Clemson, USC, and I mean, I guess you could say NC State.
True.
The big three, I obviously say Ohio State, USC, and Clemson in that order. They're going to make you throw the ball. I'm sorry. Like, if you're a running quarterback like Buckner is, they're going to make you throw the ball. And if you can't throw the ball, you're not going to beat them. And
again, this all comes back to, I get it. This wasn't, you're not playing. You're not playing.
This is a glorified practice. I mean,
you don't have your starting 5 linemen in front of you. This was, they drafted, the captains were obviously Tyler and Sam. They drafted their team. So it's not, completely accurate. Like you said, it's just a practice,
Right. But given with what you had, Sam showed up. I mean, Sam did not look like he had anything going wrong. He had everything going right. Everything was humming. It was all systems go for Sam. And Buckner, Tyler, he just couldn't get it going.
No.
And
he did not look comfortable. I'm sorry.
That's just facts. I mean, the statistics don't lie here.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting, and then we'll get to Jaden Greathouse.
Yes, I want to talk about that kid too. I'm anxious
with Jaden Greathouse is, normally with Notre Dame in the past, we have seen a team that the running game is what they have going on. Okay, the running game has always been very, very solid for Notre Dame. What has been the Achilles heel for Notre Dame is the passing offense. But yesterday, it was the other way around. It was the passing offense looked phenomenal, and the running game was lacking. So, is that a step in the right direction? I think so, because you have to pass to beat teams. That's how it is now. And that goes hand in hand with Sam's favorite target, Jaden Greathouse.
Well, and you can't throw out the running game completely because Jabron Payne, he did have that one nice run. And even it doesn't look like much. Audric Estime finished with 20 yards on 4 carries, which is a nice little average of 5 yards a carry, which really makes more of a difference than what people think it does.
But if you were to say which was the better unit, the passing game or the running game, the passing game was leaps and bounds better.
Oh,
which is great. And to say great is Jaden Greathouse in, 13 targets for 118 yards, which is incredible. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that kid. I think he's going to be the next diamond in the rough here. I think he's going to make some noise come this season as a true freshman, just like Benjamin Morrison did last year on the defensive side of things. especially him, not just him, but him and Jaden Thomas. Jaden Thomas had a nice day too. And
yes,
still though, I'm not going to forget about Brandon Merriweather either. It just, I think the only reason he couldn't show much yesterday is because,
bias. You mean
what'd I say?
Brandon?
I'm sorry, my bad. Tobias Merriweather. I don't know
Yes.
where I was coming with. Maybe I'm thinking of the other receiver.
You're wanting to, and yes, I agree with you. It's what would Merriweather have done with Sam Hartman?
That's the point that I'm getting at.
And what would Merriweather, Greathouse, and Thomas done together?
Yes,
Because clearly
exactly.
those look like 1, 2, 3 in whatever order you want to put them in, as our receivers, and then the rest has to fall in place. But yeah, it's. I mean, are we overreacting? Yeah, we're probably overreacting, like everybody else, and anybody, whether it's always Irish or us or 5 foot nothing. I mean, you name it. You name the
But
podcast.
you can't help but you
We're
can't
all
help but be
probably
excited though.
We're all over exaggerating. We're all overthinking this. But I mean, this is our first little taste of what Notre Dame football could be, and it's good to see Hartman ball out because that's the reason you brought him in. It's great to see a freshman step up because it doesn't normally happen that way. So,
another thing that I like seeing too was, even though we had a lot of guys not playing yesterday, like Logan Diggs and oh gosh, who else wasn't playing? There were a lot of guys.
There were a number. I mean, you would have to really. I mean, we'd be here a minute naming off all the guys.
Yeah, no kidding. But what I like seeing though is the battle between the receivers and our defensive backs, because our defensive backs yesterday they made a lot of the receivers work for their yards. That's for sure. I mean, it's not like the defensive backfield was just getting killed out there. No, they were in there making plays and making our receivers earn it. And I think come in the long run, when the season gets here, that's going to be a big a beneficiary to us.
Yeah,
that you have top receivers and top defensive backs going up against each other. The sky is nothing. It's nothing but up. Sky's the limit.
Yeah. And that's something that, we're really like wondering about is, how is this Notre Dame defense going to improve this year? And how are we going to be impacted in the backfield? And what I mean by the backfield is our cornerbacks and safeties. Like, we are very, very weak right now in those positions. So
we need some help to arrive in the fall for us. That's for sure.
So, I mean, it's going to get really interesting. And those battles are what makes you better. Obviously, nothing can get you 100% for a game. I mean, game speed versus practice speed versus a scrimmage, it's two different things. And everybody knows that, or at least I hope everybody knows that. But the closest you can get to it is some of these guys that you're going up against. So,
well, and something I'm sure you saw the short that I made for the channel. I think it was on Thursday or Friday. The big news coming out of spring camp as far as player personnel goes. Lorenzo Styles, he decided to enter the transfer portal.
Yes.
And now that kind of sucks a little bit. And I'm not talking about because of receiving, but he was getting reps at defensive back, and he could have provided some depth back there for us.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, losing him now could really hurt in some ways.
Yes.
Possibly. I don't know.
You're losing a leader. I mean, right off the bat. I mean, you're losing a guy that's been through a lot.
Right.
He knows situational stuff. It's hard. It's hard to have to lose that. So.
And I don't exactly know what his reason for transferring or hitting the transfer. Gosh, I hate it when I can't talk. I'm sorry, people. The portal. Forget the transfer part. Just say portal, Sean. Come on. I don't know what his exact reason for doing that was. Maybe it was a depth thing. Maybe he didn't want to play defense. I don't know for sure. I mean, I'll have to go back and read some stuff, but yeah, and I don't even want to begin to speculate because it could be a number of factors.
Yep.
But yeah, it's very true what you said. Regardless of what position he played, I mean, this is a guy that is a veteran presence that was very well aware of different situations, and he even if he wasn't going to be playing receiver full time, or even defensive back full time, he still could have been a big help to this team with his veteran presence. And so that could become, that transfer could become more big of a deal than what we think it is. So all I know is it was surprising. I can tell you that much.
Yes, it was very surprising because I don't think anybody except for the ones on the inside saw that coming. I mean, so yeah.
But another big part of yesterday too was the defensive line. They were putting the pressure on the front seven in general, linebackers as well.
Yes.
I loved how they were playing yesterday. They were finishing plays off, putting the pressure on, making it tough. Obviously the defensive backs are in question right now, but I think the new wave of front seven players is coming.
Yeah.
And I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had a total of 7 sacks yesterday, 4 on Angeli, and then 2 on Buckner and 1 on Minchie, 0 on Hartman, which is great. Love seeing that. But 7 sacks ain't nothing to scoff at. And I know it's a glorified practice, but that means that we're getting to the quarterback. We're getting a lot of pressure on him. The feeling and the nervousness of those quarterbacks having a guy breathe down their neck is there. Mm-hmm. Never a bad thing. So, if you want to chalk that up as a W, that's fantastic. But yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
And it's like we alluded to earlier, when this team is 100% healthy, all the guys are there, I think this fall is going to be a lot of fun.
It has the potential to be. Yeah. It really does.
And it's like I say all the time, I never guarantee that we're going to have a national championship season or anything like that. But it's okay to be excited because people are always like, oh, this team, they just do nothing but set me up to be let down. Well, you know what? Yeah, Ben and I have been right there with you too. When, a season hasn't gone as planned and has been kind of disappointing. But you know what? That's what looking forward to the future is. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Believe it or not, people, it's okay to be excited about your team. So show a little faith. Have some optimism that this team can do something, that they can win. Because with what I saw yesterday, that potential is getting there. We are finally seeing it come together, or at least getting a taste of it. Mm-hmm. So let's everyone get optimistic for this team. Show some positivity. Stand behind them. That's the best thing that we as fans can do right now. So,
yep.
Other than that, another blue and gold game is in the books.
Yep, 92nd one.
Yeah, man, it's like crazy when you see those numbers. Now we just wait until the fall, and in the meantime, just continue watching the XFL, the USFL, and having some fun, having some summer fun.
Yep.
Which, by the way, tonight the Vegas Vipers have the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks' playoff fate in their hands. So, there's a tiebreaker, but I'd rather just say Vipers straight up pull off the upset, and that way it's all irrelevant.
That'd be great. That'd be fantastic.
so
we don't have to sweat it.
No kidding. That's the safest way. Just win it, Vipers. Other than that, they have to hold the Sea Dragons to under 34 points.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, Ben, I think that'll just about do it. Anything you want to add?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, on that note, I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And as always, good night, God bless, and go Irish.
Go Irish.